Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Bandai Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts Avengers movie Loki figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
And a quick look at the side of the box. There is a picture of the Loki figure and a green backdrop. That looks cool. And on the opposite side, another picture of the figure, and it says SH Figuarts is a new oh, that's the shit that it always says. All right, SH Figuarts logo down at the bottom, and there's a quick frontal view. All right, let's get this bad boy open and see what's what. All right, here we go. Loki, as played by Tom Hiddleston in all of the Avengers movies, the Thor movies, all of the MCU movies. I think he did a wonderful job as Loki and will continue to do so in the Disney Plus series and whatever we have for the next phase of Marvel on the horizon. So Bandai Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts is kind of late to the party. This is their very first Loki figure. We've had a couple from Marvel Legends, if I'm not mistaken, but the very first iteration from SHF. As you can see, he's decked out with the soft goods cloak. This is something that SHF has been trying. They did a good job with the Thor figure. This one here looks a little flat in my opinion. It looks okay. It's not terrible, but definitely not the best tailoring job I've seen. You kind of get a 3-for-1 here because this is Loki with his look from the very first Avengers movie, which in turn ended up being his look for Avengers Endgame as well. And then I guess he appeared in some of the Thor movies in this garb too. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. So they gave you quite a few different accessories here. I know what you guys are thinking. This dude's forehead looks nuts, and it kind of does, but overall I do think they did a really good job on his figure. Let me give you a closer look at the head sculpt. So I do think the likeness to Tom Hiddleston is definitely here, but I think they may have exaggerated just a bit with how big his forehead is, because he does have a big forehead and it is exploited in the way that he's rocking his hair as the character Loki, but this looks just a little oversized in my opinion. But again, I do think the likeness is there. I guess they're utilizing that face scan technology. There is a little separation here sometimes that makes the gapage look even larger. I think the entire deco looks great and movie accurate. You know, aside from my gripes with the cape, I do think they nailed this, mixing the soft goods with some of the harder plastic that is still pretty soft and pliable, and all of these little gold portions and the different textures here. I think they did a very good job with matching up the look to all of these movies. This is a pretty nice figure. I particularly like the some of these gold sections here where it looks a little weathered. You know, it looks it looks prestigious, but it looks like it's got a little wear and tear still. So I'll double back to the head sculpt, but going over his accessories, out of the package he comes with 2 fists attached and very tiny wrist pegs, so be careful as you're swapping the hands. He's got 2 hands that are open with the fingers spread. I believe these could be utilized to hold another one of his accessories, so I'll double back to these. He's got a set that are open with the fingers closer together. He's got a set that are cupped or in a fist with the hole through the center. Obviously these could be utilized to hold one of his accessories as well, so I'll break that out first. He's actually packed in with 2 versions of the scepter here, and you can detach the upper portion from the handle, and then that way you can slip this part up into his hand and then reattach it. Oh, there's a good look at that. You can see the stone kind of glowing there, like a translucent sort of baby blue, and this entire portion is gold. Some nice details, looks movie accurate to me. I'm with it. And that looks pretty cool. No issue with them holding it with either the right or the left hand. And he's also packed in with a shorter version of the scepter, and I'm having a brain fart here. I don't remember, did this get broken at some point, or was it able to extend and then go back to a shortened version? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments below, but this is pretty much the same exact design. It's just shorter. And he's also packed in with a cube, probably the best cosmic cube or cube looking accessory that we've had across any line. You know, we got quite a few of these with a couple of different Marvel Legends characters, but I think this this will be really nice for light piping and for some dramatic lighting, for some displaying. And obviously he can hold that with that other hand I said I would double back to, either in the right or the left hand. And that looks cool. And the actual proper name for the cube in the MCU would be the Tesseract. I'm sure you guys know that, but just to be complete and accurate. And you got a few options with the head sculpt here. You got a couple of different head sculpts or face swaps that you can do, but the head and neck can be pulled off of the upper torso. The head does attach, or the face does attach here. There are a couple of different face plates that you can play with, as well as a different hair sculpt for the back and the bottom here. So you got a couple of different swaps you can do. I'm gonna swap the head here for the helmeted head real quick. So you gotta really line up everything right to do this, but the additional head sculpt is the face plate and the helmet with the horns and all of that, but you keep the neck and then you swap on a different lower hair sculpt to fit under the helmet here in order to utilize the smiling face on the body. I'm pretty sure that I could swap out this face plate and have the neutral face with the helmet as well, but let me pop this on first. There we go. So this is cool. I really like this option. I do like this headdress or this helmet. Let's see if I could go ahead and put the neutral face under the helmet. Yep, so pretty simple. You can detach the front of the helmet and then go ahead and remove this face plate and then pop on the neutral one, the helmet back together. And there's that, no smile. And with this look, you can avoid seeing his extra large forehead. It's covered up here with the helmet. This is nice. And then his final set of accessories are another faceplate here where you can see he's got the muzzle on, and he's also got a set of cuffs like we saw at the end or towards the end of Avengers Endgame when the Avengers were walking him out of the tower after the Hulk put a beating on him. And I guess you could pull one of these numbers too if you want him to just hold the helmet. I didn't bother taking the peg out of the inside of the helmet. I'm sure you can, but I'm not going to go through all of that. It still looks pretty good with him just holding it like this. And real quick, in terms of articulation, his articulation is limited, but the head can move separately of the neck slightly. The neck does move too, so you can get that to shift. Gotta be careful that his face doesn't fall off. But yeah, you can turn them left to right. You can see the head is turning without the smaller portion of the hair, but the hair back here is articulated a little bit on the hinge. I mean, as long as you can turn left to right and pivot for a little expression, it's okay. Obviously, the articulation is gonna be even more hindered when he has the helmet on. But the shoulders are on a ball joint in there. You could kind of like drop down the shoulder to get it up far. It's gonna be hindered a little bit by this portion of his jacket or his costume or what have you, but you could technically do a full 360. There is some rotation on that ball joint. You get a little bit more than 90 degrees on the elbow. Not really double jointed. It'll swivel a little bit on the elbow as well. Same thing on both sides as far as the arms go. There's a little bit of upper torso articulation. The joint is very tight, but you can kind of turn them and shift it just a tad bit in the upper torso. You get more at the lower abdomen, especially as far as like turning him left to right and hinging back and forth. There is a drop down method at the leg, so the leg can come down. You can get it up pretty far. There's a double barbell joint inside there. Probably can't really see it too well now, but there is some rotation at the upper thigh. You get a little bit more than 90 degrees on the knee. You get a hinge on the foot slightly and a very small pivot. I'm a little annoyed by how limited the foot articulation is, but there is a toe joint. And for the record, the jacket can be removed. Not really meant to be removed because the way the arms are sculpted, they're supposed to like double as part of the jacket if I'm not mistaken. But the jacket and the cloak is all one part. And there's a look at him without it on. And some more hidden articulation under there. There's actually a butterfly joint there too. So pretty decent shoulder arm articulation, but you know, you can't really get to it all with everything on with the headdress and the jacket. All right, one quick size comparison and I'm gonna get up out of here. So on the far left, everything here is SH Figuarts, by the way. On the far left is the Avengers Infinity War Hulk, probably one of the best 6-inch scale Hulks we've ever received. Right next to him is the Avengers Infinity War Thor. I think this was their best Thor. And I think they did a really good job with the soft goods cloak for him. Only other thing that would have taken this figure over the top is if it had bendy wire in the cloak. And you can see how tall he stands next to Loki. Taller than Loki. I think that's about right. And then you can see the SH Figuarts Tony Stark. They stand about the same height. Obviously, Loki appears to be a little taller because of his helmet. But I don't really know how these two actors stack up in real life. Is Robert Downey Jr. shorter? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And then we have the Age of Ultron Captain America. America. And on the far right, we have the Avengers Infinity War Rocky Raccoon. I believe it's Avengers Infinity War. Ironically, we about to get a bunch of the first movie looks for the Avengers. So we'll get a new Hulk, we'll get a new Thor. That will match up better with this particular Loki. We're going to get the best Captain America I think that SHF has put out, even though it's not out, but I'm calling it now. And then we're going to get a like sort of battle damaged Iron Man. I think it's Mark 7 if I'm not mistaken. All of that stuff was teased recently at Tamashii's event. So I'm looking forward to those looks from the movie and being able to recreate some of those scenes. Loki I think came out okay. Not a bad release here from SHF. It's one that I would definitely recommend, especially if you are as deep into the Avengers movies as I am. I can't really stop now. So get out there, get on the hunt. Thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell down there. And until next time, peace.
That's crispy.